We are here for 2 days to speak about do a lesson that is not boring, to motivate students. And now I prepare for you an example of a very boring lesson. Because also this time I have to speak about the transnational report that is I know, because the European community wants to know what we have done. Okay, but the work is done from by Laura, that is not only my right arm, but also my right leg, because it's very, very important, the work that she has done, and I hope she will do with me. So, only for my students, I think that you have a point more than the other, because they are here. I explain what is the project. This project is a project of 3 years, but it's important that it was divided in 3 different but connected subjects. The first year we study students' motivation, the second teachers' training, successful experiences, and good practices is the work of this year. We have 13 partners, a lot of people from 11 European countries that cooperate for 3 years in a good way, and I'm very happy of our work. Timetable documents. If you go to the site of the project, you can find a lot of subjects, of materials, resources, documents, and these documents and the resources are divided in these 3 types of subjects. So you can find the students' motivation, documents on students' motivation, training of teachers, and this 3rd year, concluding with this conference, we dedicated to identify successful experiences. Finally, there is a section that is very important for me that is dedicated to ICT teaching resources, but is important to underline that these resources are carefully selected and tested by partners. What say? The transnational report about the successful experiences in chemistry teaching in Europe. But the transnational report that is a big and boring work that Laura has done for 3 years is divided into sections. And the sections are national sources of successful experiences, examples of successful experiences, the impact of the project on successful experiences, and conclusion. What to say about this? But I think that about the first point, national sources of successful experiences, I think that that reported sources are different types, but mainly websites, magazines, and specific conferences. And all this work required a lot of time, because you have to find these resources, this document, you have to read this, to summarize, and to choose. For the second point, examples of successful experiences, I think that they identified experiences are in the form of projects, website or platform portal, providing teaching tools or journal articles describing and assessing practices performed by teachers, researchers. And this is very important because I think that we are playing of work. We speak a lot, we talk about this subject, but it's important for teacher and material, some resources, and something to see, to use. The third point is the impact of the project on successful experiences. And I think that the main part of this work and the more successful is the workshop. The workshop is a moment in which we collect all our experience in national field. So the workshop is a fundamental part of the project because share an integrated work that experts, teachers make for the project and discuss, compare problems, experiences in order to improve everyone's skills. And this is, I think, the part that is more important, and is, I think that is also the moment where we create a network in Italy. So, the third point, the impact of the project on successful experiences, sharing successful experiences in a local context. But I think that it's important to focalize the subject that was presented in the last workshop. Presentation of national activities born to support project objectives. Focus on teachers and experts' personal successful experiences. Discussion on teaching resources tested at the national level. Planning of future work. As you can see, there were a lot of people that are working about this workshop, and I continue to say that this is very important at this moment. The impact of the project on successful experiences, testing, ICT, teaching resources, is also another moment that improves the willingness to innovate our teaching. The teachers involved chose and used some important resources with their students, and then producing reports. And this was very important because our teachers are not as Nadia Zamboni, but have a lot of difficulty to use ICT. And I think that this is a moment in which we can help them to use correctly these resources. All this is possible to see in the site of the project, and there is a new part of the section called testing that contains testimonials and suggestions for educational paths. The important part of this project is also the conference that we have done. We have done 6 conferences all over this country, and I think that the impact of a project on successful experiences is possible to have the idea looking the material of this conference. Sharing successful experiences in an international context, we can remember all the 6 conferences, but the last 2 are the international conference in Portugal and now our in Genova. Conclusion. We started in 2000 with the Lisbon strategy to underline that the knowledge, the themes of knowledge are identified as fundamental. And yesterday, Laura remembered the 8 key competencies that may become the basis for further learning and the solid preparation for adult and working life. And about this and on this important document, we can decide that there is an urgent need to change the teaching methodology, using new and more appropriate educational tools and planning, collaborating vertically. That this is very important. The primary school is the beginning of our scientific teaching. It is important to underline the fundamental role of primary school, that is a pillar of education. It is essential that the approach to science, even more chemistry, takes place when the child is more curious, is is very interested to what happens around him. At this level, the study of chemistry will no longer be boring, but exciting, I hope. Acknowledgement is a white slide, but why is white? Because acknowledgement are a lot, so much, that this slide would be dark. So I prefer leave my thought. I thank the European. I thank the European Union.
We know what you're trying to say, Marilena.
Laura, can you read?
When I talk, but you work with her. So, I thank the European Union, which was allowed me not only to know my wonderful partners, but also to learn about the work of experts, teachers and students from 10 foreign countries. However, I believe that Europe does not need me. We say, the sea is made of drops, and I believe that now my job is to have more time for my drops, my students and my teachers. Therefore, I ask you to continue to do European projects. I will work for you, however, trying to make a contribution in Italy, Liguria, Genova. I hope. No question. So we are perfectly on time. It's time for coffee break.
Okay. And so I explain this moment because I'm very tired and destroyed. But I ask you to comprehend my emotion because I think that this work is very important. I have to thank you a lot.